Hey everyone, welcome to the fifth call of our Web3 workshop series. I'm going to start by putting it on screen. This is one more introduction call for our initiative to onboard end users and explain what Web3 and blockchain is, how it can be used in the real world. And yeah, the link on the bottom of the screen is something that you can go to if you want to know more about this project. I have Aomi joining us. Just going to add to the stage. And we also have someone that we met with our partners, Gimbal Labs, but she's just going to be listening for today. And I'm going to jump into our typical mode of sharing screen, and let's progress our explorations a bit further. So just wanted to recap that this is stage one of this series of workshops. So for now, we're doing everything very like out in the open, streaming or publishing it to YouTube. But there are two more stages where we're going to be diving deeper on the technical side or on the working pieces of blockchain. And also here, ideally, we would get some business owners that have applications or e-commerce or something like that, where they want to include a bit of blockchain or a bit of Web3 business models. So ideally, we'll get some learners to that stage as well. So you can have a look at our playlist for a number of stuff that we've looked into. We are covering the basics, like money plus internet equals Bitcoin, which means like money occurs naturally in society. And so after having internet, Bitcoin, something like Bitcoin was sort of unavoidable. And then adding a bit more programmability or something like that, we have what we call Web3 based on the Cardano technology and others that are represented here. And so that sort of changes the paradigm that evolves from Web 1 to Web 2 with interactivity, where we are writing to websites. And now we can own and we can have streams of value in a number of other different dynamics. So I'm not going to repeat. This was mentioned in previous calls, and you can browse to that one. So that one was live session 3. Today we are on live session 5. On the previous one, we got to know a bit better Aomi and Owen's background. I think that was the bulk of the session, and we said that we would be exploring and prioritizing Web3 dApps to try out. I'm not seeing it here for now, but I would encourage the participants here, live or asynchronously, to add any apps that you want to put in a queue here for us to explore live on our calls. What we're doing with the Portuguese side on the left side of the screen has started progressing a bit to this effect. So we've looked into BlockSign. We are planning to look into PayAda, Working Dead, which is a courses platform on Cardano, and other apps that we are adding here for the Portuguese cohort. So I'm just flashing this to give you some inspiration. And one thing that we did do in parallel with the Portuguese cohort was look into wallets. So I'm not going to cover this again, but we do have it in the back burner, let's say, that learners are invited to install any of these wallets, starting with Vesper, and explore connecting and turning their application to the pre-production network. So not the real Cardano network with live money and live assets, but with the pre-production network, we can already explore a lot of use cases and test applications without having that seriousness of real money. So Aomi, I'm not sure if you want to share or say hi or share a bit of what you've maybe experimenting in Web3 since we last spoke.
Hi, Lucas. Hi, everyone.
Hey.
It's good to be here again. Yeah.
Did you
Hi,
like?
Megan.
So yeah, Megan is in listener mode, but we're really happy to have her here and to get to know more people and people that may know others that are still not as engaged in Web3. So really good to have her here. So just to be very concrete, Aomi, I wanted to ask you, like, maybe what apps are you actually using in Cardano day to day or from time to time? Which ones do you like? Any thoughts?
Sorry, Lucas.
So if
What
you're
did you say? What was the question?
if you're mentioning Cardano to someone, and you're telling people about Cardano, what apps do you mention usually? What can you do on Cardano?
Hmm.
Any use case that you mention to people typically?
Yeah, this question is a very uh sensitive question because right now I'm trying to think
Okay.
of the apps I have tried using. I mean, when you said apps on Cardano, you mean projects on Cardano, right?
Exactly. So one thing that we've done on previous calls and that we're doing in parallel with the Portuguese cohort is to highlight some project directories. So we have built on Cardano, we have cardano.org, which lists a number of applications that are on Cardano. Here we have wallets, DeFi, meme coins, NFT collections,
Okay.
games. So I'm asking you, for example, maybe focusing a bit away from DeFi, have you tried any game or any metaverse on Cardano? Have you tried The Working Dead, like that we were mentioning just now? What have you used in Cardano so far? Anything? World Mobile, Book.io?
Yes, Lucas. Thinking of okay. There was a time I used oh, there's this game. What's the name of this? They've changed the name now. They changed the name to Infinity
Ah,
Rise or something.
exactly.
The I don't know if you know the game I'm talking about.
I know very well. We've covered it in our Portuguese cohort for a while, and I haven't really tried it, or it's like still all in demo and all that. But it's an interesting one, and I feel like they're taking it very professionally, especially in terms of look and feel. That's why they did the rebranding and all that. So yeah, it's a great project. I'm going to add it to our boards. Maybe we can talk about it further. That's why I was asking you, so that we can start adding some things here that are sort of in your radar, but maybe that you haven't tried so much.
Mm.
And that way we can facilitate that here. Okay? Thanks for
Yeah,
mentioning it.
yeah. Do
And
you do you do
just out
you
of
remember
curiosity,
the from? Okay. Do you remember the former name?
the the what?
The Infinity Rising game. It used to have a name before. I've forgotten the name. I don't know if you remember.
It's used. I used to be cornucopias.
Do you?
Cornucopias? Is that what you're asking? Their original name? Yeah.
Yes. Cornucopias. Yes. That was actually the first game I came across in
Hmm.
Cardano. Because that time I
Yeah.
was actually writing a report. Yes, I remember. I was writing a report. This cat DAO thing I mentioned some times ago on this call. I don't know if you remember.
Hmm.
So this cat DAO, you make research about Cardano projects, see what they are doing, are they still alive? are they actually real projects, things like that. So I was able to like make research on cornucopia at that time. And that was how I came across the game and I tried out a little. But I'm not a game fan, so I did not really get along that much with the game. I'm not a game fan. Yeah.
Yeah, cool. So this is what we've explored in our Portuguese cohort. This was already in session, I'm not sure. Yeah, that we were doing them two by two. So this was like session 19 of the last cohort. And I can learn from these notes. There's a PDF here with the types of lands or houses and all that they have in this sort of metaverse game. And there's this YouTube video here that maybe I can open just to zap through. They have some live screen of the game demo, I think. Just there we go. And they do these live sessions where they demo it, discuss it, gather or respond to people's feedback and questions. But overall, yeah, I'm not so sure how live it is. I remember they were doing some kind of thing where you could run your server, or you could, I don't know, sorry, maybe it was optimizing the way that you download the game content onto your machine. So yeah, at the time you can see there it was called Copy for cornucopias. So it's still loading Copy live. Anyway, I'm going to bring this link to our section there. Can you think of any other application that's different than from this one that you recommend or are curious on Cardano? Aomi, any other app that you like on Cardano?
Yes, I'm trying to think of projects I've interacted with. I mean, my memory. Um, ah, Let me think. Well,
Okay.
I've been interacting with WADA, but WADA is not
Mm-hmm.
like a project like, but it's actually a Cardano thing. So WADA,
Mm-hmm.
I
Yeah,
believe
it's a
I can call
community
that.
that's been around for ages on Cardano. You see Boas there. Um, Yeah, it's a very mature community. They've done a number of different things. They recently hosted the Cardano Africa Tech Summit, right? And they have
Yeah,
their branches, their arms of education, consulting, network outreach. So it's an inspiration for 45B, actually.
yeah,
What these guys do is focusing more on Africa. Yeah, this is something that they've been
yeah,
touching
yeah,
on very commonly. That not only are they're doing their own thing, but they're empowering community hubs in their territory. So that's also quite inspirational for us. You see there, they have hubs in Ghana, Cameroon, Ivory Coast, Nigeria, and thanks for mentioning this one, because you're helping me to paint a picture to our viewers and learners or potential learners that Cardano is not just about technology. It's not at all just about crypto. And these projects are also very important. They promote financial literacy in their space, not crypto scams or something like that. So a lot of these countries or populations don't have an easy way to move money or to save in their local currencies. So that's important that they learn about these things, and that we sorry that it's important that we teach them about using different technologies for that. And also starting with Bitcoin. There's a lot happening in the Africa territory. I'm going to add WADA here, and maybe we can have, it's not going to be very hard to have someone from WADA come by and explain a bit what they've been doing. And I'm also going to try to get a video of their tech summit that they organized recently. That should paint a great picture as well. I'm going to add it here asynchronously later. Okay, so cats video.
Makes sense. Makes sense. And another thing is that, my monthly Cardano project showcase for the month of April, I am actually hosting WADA on my Cardano monthly
Oh
showcase
yeah.
as well. Yeah,
Okay.
so Nana Safo might be representing WADA. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so when is that happening? Sorry.
Oh, for that, I still have to I will usually speak to pick the time and dates. So because I need to confirm availability from them and from me to know how I can balance it and then come up with the date and time. Hopefully this week I will sort all of that.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
And that's going to be an X space or?
It's going to be this month, but not I don't know the date yet and the time.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
was asking if it's going to be on X
Yeah, yeah,
or.
yeah, yeah, yeah. It's going to be on
Okay.
X. Yeah.
Okay. Cool. 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 Okay, so those are two things that we can go back to on future calls, and we've touched on them briefly here. One that I've demoed on the Portuguese cohort was book.io because it's the simplest one I can always think of. So I'm just going to add it here to mention later. And I think we've done some progress today. And let's move on to the next section of our session. So I'm going to actually bring this one up. Take the install
Yeah, sorry.
Vesper. Yes.
Yeah, sorry. Um I have this NFT from Playmates. I think they're
Mm-hmm.
into art, Abby. I'm sorry. I said Abby is my native language. I said Abby.
Yeah.
I think it's art, like drawings, things like that. Or they're into I don't know how to explain. They're into that clay art thing. Yeah, this
Sorry, could you
yeah.
say again? Oh,
Yes,
you're saying
I
you
said
don't
that
know how to
I've
explain what
actually
they do.
yes, yes,
Or
yes.
you? Okay. Yeah. As far as I gather, they are a collection of art, but then there's this whole community around it. And thanks for mentioning it as well, because you're bringing us, I think, for the first time in this cohort to the JPEG store, which is our NFT marketplace. So here, Google took me to one of their collections, which is Claymate Series 2. I'm not exactly sure what the theme is for this one, but if we go here, for example, we can find the main one, I think, which was the original collection. You can see here they have 10K NFTs, so 10,000 NFTs. Only 5% of them are listed in the market, and they sometimes do adaptations or caricatures, if that's the term in English, of real people that are in the ecosystem, and they gift the image to those people. Apart from that, these are generic characters that you can buy and use and sort of adopt as your profile picture. And after you do that, you're sort of the member of the club, and there's calls, there's this metaverse part that they are trying to explore with. I'm not sure, but it's basically an
Yeah, yeah.
online community, right? Yeah.
Please go on. Please go on.
I think you're breaking up, but could you say again?
Okay. Yeah, I wanted to say that I think they're about to launch a game because I saw it on their X
Hmm.
post where they said that they need users to like test to run the game they're about to launch or something. I actually
Yeah.
signed up and I actually got a mail that the game is live to test or something like that, but I've not actually tried it out.
Okay. So what I'll do is I'll add this to our board and we can keep it in our radar. It very much looks like they're preparing a game because you can see here there's a number of screens um, with something happening, but it's not really explicit on what it is and how you can. Here we go. Here we go. Our Endless Runner minigame in collaboration with Fluxpoint Studios is now live on Windows, Android, and iOS. There we go. So I'm going to copy this one as well and paste the link for their main X account. This post that has the comment with the link for the game and the main collection, I think, on JPEG Store. I'm just going to copy them across. And, we've partnered with Clay Nation once or twice because some of their team members are based or relating somehow based in Lisbon. So yeah, on one of our events, we were actually giving away some of their merch, and people really like it's a good way to onboard people to communities in Cardano because it's sort of playful and artsy, and so I really like what they are doing. Let me just drop all the links here, and I can take it from there. Here we go. So
And yes, I was supposed to mention book.io. It was when you mentioned it that I remember that I have actually interacted with book.io. I have some books that I have that I minted. Is it minted? Is that the right word? Yeah, but I have some books that
yeah.
I minted from them. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so this is let's just put game here, and there we have the NFT collection. And yeah, so I'm just using this to like organize what we gathered from browsing, and I'm going to remove the right side of it. So Aomi, if you have any other ideas of things to add to our sessions, just drop them here on the Miro board. If you don't have access, I'll approve it asynchronously. Ping me if necessary, and let's continue exploring things. So now, the next thing I wanted to touch on is something that, like I said, we've seen with the Portuguese cohort. It has to do with why do we keep saying that Web3 is going to impact all of Web2, that it can be incorporated in all the business models. So I took this little example here. This is an Android app, a Web2 Android app. And in the typical freemium way of working of Web2 apps, you are in a space here. It's a multilingual space, and some people are speaking English, or some people are native English, others are native French. They're speaking, and it's just like a language interchange space. And you can watch for free. You can even come up and speak for free. But if you want to use some features like emojis or something like that, it starts telling you that you need to become a Tandem is the name of the app, Tandem Pro member, and you need to unlock that feature. The thing is, the barrier as a user from spending zero to using the emoji, you need to buy at least 1 month for €9, €7, or 3 months at a discount, or 12 months, etc. So your entry level, your barrier to start doing likes is €7. And for us in Web3, this is nonsensical, because there are apps that we're going to see in these sessions where you can zap instantly a cent of a cent to someone. If you like their content, if the same way you do a like, you can even send them 1 cent or €1 or something like that from person to person. So it doesn't make sense that this app in today's age is still asking people to buy in and like give them their credit card, your credit card, and all that. So what we are going to see in these calls is that you can use things like Nostr, for example, is the one that I was mentioning, where I can just illustrate it here very quickly. If I go to Primal, you see someone was making a post here, someone else was making a post here, and the same way that I did a retweet and a like, I could also zap this person, and I've sent, I don't know, 20 cents of a cent. So that's as simple as it gets. I'm going to drop this screenshot there and highlight the zaps part. If we see it in Bitcoin terms, I think this is a very nice sum that this person has accumulated in Bitcoin already. So it's like 400 euros, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. So that's one example. Any thoughts? Any feedback? Have you thought about this? Like how Web3, you don't need to add blockchain to your app. You can just like do some transactions, like exchange value or sell subscriptions that have a lot lower entry level. Any feedback? Is it making sense?
Yeah, it is making sense. Yeah, it is making sense. And this is actually my first time seeing Primal. I don't know about Primal.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It is based on Bitcoin, so we're not going to cover it very, very much, but I'm always happy to mention it. Let me just try to highlight this a bit further. There we go. I invite you to come by. You can just go to primal.net and create a profile. It's a great alternative to X, and hopefully we will have Cardano using something like this as well for our socials rather than X so much. Yeah. Let me know asynchronously if you have any questions while using it. I'm happy to help orient you. Okay. Also, I wanted to touch on this term here, value for value. That's what we have happening here. It's like one person likes the other person's tweet. We click a zap button because we had topped up our wallet with like even just €1 or $1 worth of ADA in our case, or Bitcoin in this case. And so this really helps content creators get paid for what they are sharing with the world. So we can also call this micropayments. And in terms of micropayments on Cardano, because this one is using Bitcoin, we have vending machines on the Hydra layer 2. So I'm just going to write here layer 2 to be more explicit. And Hydra is a technology that allows us to, instead of submitting a transaction straight to the blockchain and waiting for a few seconds and paying for a transaction on a blockchain, which could be, I don't know, at this price, like 5 cents of a dollar or something. With Hydra, you actually top up from the blockchain to the Hydra layer 2, and then on Hydra, you can transaction very fast and very cheap, or virtually for zero, which would, because technically you don't need to pay for a transaction on Hydra. It's like a current account that's happening outside of the main blockchain, but it is as programmable and as reliable as the main one. Any feedback on this? You've heard of Hydra, right?
Yes, I've heard of Hydra, but I don't really know what Hydra is.
Yeah. Let me show you here something. Although we don't like to cover so much DeFi and crypto, or that kind of project. One project that's using Hydra, and you can see here, sub-second fills means like your order to exchange like one asset for the other gets filled in under 1 second on the Hydra L2, so the layer 2. No gas fees, and you keep your keys, so you're still in custody of your assets. So let me see if I can open it here. I'm not going to connect my wallet, but so yeah, they're doing this by the book. So you have the terms and conditions, and you need to accept them to go ahead. Yeah, if I were to connect my wallet, you will see that it's not the typical Web3 user experience where I connect my wallet and then every time I want to make a transaction, it asks me to sign on Vesper or something like that. As soon as I have things connected, I can transact a lot quicker within their application. I need to double check on this. We can go back to it, but I'm going to add it to our board for further exploration in the future. I invite you to try it as well if you want, asynchronously between sessions, that is. Okay, so I'm gonna just drop it here as a text box to be quick, and there we go. And we can add here, so Hydra, sorry. And let's add more of them here later. I think that's all we have time for today. I'm not sure if you have any questions before we go. Any feedback?
For me, I enjoy all of the conversation, and some other things that you said we could talk about asynchronously. Yeah, we can actually talk about them. Yeah, like
Sorry,
the
what I said?
Hydra
What?
thing, and
You mentioned something that I said, but then you cut off when you said what I was talking about.
oh, I said that I enjoyed the conversation today, and um there are some other things that you mentioned, like the Hydra thing, the
Mm-hmm.
primer. Yeah, I could check those up, and maybe we could have an asynchronous meeting or coordinate, maybe, so like something better.
Okay, cool. Okay, I think that's it for today then. I invite anyone watching us to come by our calls. If you go through 45b.io/web3, you can connect with us. You can sign up for the course, even if you're just planning to stay for stage 1 to be onboarded as a user of Web3. And also going to links.45b.io, you can follow our socials, share it with friends, and we'll love to chat and explore Web3 together. Naomi, Megan, thank you for being here. Megan, I hope maybe on future calls you can share a bit more, like on the live call. Yeah, thank you so much for today. Megan was just on chat with us. Yeah, see you in a week, and keep in touch. Thanks, Naomi. Bye.
Thank you, Lucas. Thanks for facilitating.
Cheers. Bye bye.